Hi. Welcome to the yard. Welcome to the open gate. Of course, it's not important. As long as I stay up here, it can stay open. Lighting's not very good there, is it? No, it's not. What about if I go here? Where it normally is. That's where the tripod would normally belong when I do anything at work at all. About there. That's a bit better. Yeah. All right. How's it going? How's it going, everyone? Well, hey. Wow, man. No idea. No idea what I'm doing. Although I do have an idea of what I'm doing. And my idea for today was just to be, I need this channel to bump up its numbers, bump up the watch time, hours, etc. so that I can eventually get somewhere with the channel memberships, that kind of thing. Channel memberships, all the other kind of benefits of getting 3,000 hours of watch time within a year. So I'm up to 2,300 I think, 2,300 or just a bit more. So I need another 700 watch hours and I can up my channel somewhat. And it was all, I thought it was all going to be going exceedingly well whilst I had the old algorithm on my side, but then it's not. But actually, really, the watch time doesn't really make a lot of difference. No, I've gone from averaging about 3,000 views on a live stream in the evening down to about 400. So it's a massive difference. But the actual time people have spent watching hasn't changed that much. And that's because the people who are watching are people that have joined, subscribed, etc. And I'm very grateful for all of that. I really am. So all I can ask really is that some of you stay here. Some of you stay and help me along this rather treacherous journey. I was supposed to be starting at 2 o'clock. I set this up quite a bit earlier on today. I thought what I would do is just have the live stream going on whilst I actually work and not interact quite as much as I normally would do. I know I'm going to struggle with that because as soon as I can see people there, I want to talk to them. I do. But I have a job to do on Mrs. Doyle at the moment. And it's a job that you probably wouldn't really be expecting, so I shall show you. I shall show you right now. Here we see. Yep. Question is, what is the job? Eh? Anybody want to guess what the job actually is? Because it's on the tripod, I can't see whether you can see what I can see or not. That's unusual. Closing the gate. Well, they weren't here for very long, but it only takes realistically a minute of the gate being left open for somebody to come in and take something that doesn't belong to them. And obviously I worry about that kind of thing. Right, let's see who is in the building. Have I got my... Oh yes, I have. I've got my reading glasses. Brilliant. That's good news. That's a good start. I've sort of whizzed through the comments and then I'm going to find some paint for this car. And oh right, so John Studley, John Studley is here. Hello, John Studley. How are you, matey? How are you, matey? How are you, matey? How are you, matey? Jimmy Quinn. Hello, Jimmy Quinn. Cool as always. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Here's my milk. Can we see anything ever so slightly wrong with that? Watch it as I pour. Watch it as I pour. This is how desperate I get for a cup of tea. That can you see? Don't look quite right, does it? Oh. I hope you wasn't expecting anything slick today, because that's definitely not happening. Anyway, Jimmy Quinn, welcome here. And Blair is back. Hello, Blair. Lovely to see you. Hello, Mustard. I know it's been a long time since I last came, but I've been really busy with exams, and I miss you and everyone here. Well, as I've said before, it's important that you do those exams. Much more important than watching some chap who can't see without his glasses. And there's me. Sorry everyone, a slight delay, and that was a delay of 15 minutes because there's a chap called George here who's just around the back doing something with his car. Now this car I was expecting to be going, oh, I haven't said anything about that. Oh, I've given it away, haven't I? So anyway, I was expecting this car to be going by now, freeing up another space, but obviously losing me a little bit of rent. But it's not today. It's maybe another week off or something. Anyway, he's here to do a couple of things on it. Hello, Mustard and all, says Simone, who's also hooked on classics, whose name is... Hi, Simone. Hello, welcome. Peter P is here. Hello, Peter. Name me -1. How's the new rot box? Well, as you've just seen, it's all right actually. It's all right, but as always, you know, I did notice something dangling down ever so slightly around the sill, and today I thought I'll investigate that. And what's happened is it's had a patch welded at the back where they always go, undersealed, and of course, unless it's painted with something else as well, the underseal doesn't stick for long, does it? Eventually it just peels off, and then it becomes a trap, a moisture trap. And so I thought I'd best peel the rest of that off and get it back down to some metal. Otherwise the job will need doing again, won't it? Ivor Howard, hello Mustard, hello to you. Hello everyone, says Barry Scrotter. What a lovely afternoon, and it is undoubtedly and lovely afternoon, and welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe. I know you already have them. I bet that everyone who's watching this right now is already a subscriber. There must be, because there's only 14 people here, and that's not many, is it? Mustard, it is difficult to get the turbo off the back of the diesel 75 engine. Oh, is it? Is it difficult? Well, do you know what? I don't know. I've never just taken the turbo off one. I've taken an engine out and then taken the turbo off after that, and then it's easy. Other than that, it's probably not that easy, to be honest. It's probably quite difficult. Depends on how determined you are, I guess. Mine is leaking and needs a new seal. See, this is the trouble with turbos, isn't it? They're all well and good and everything, and they produce lots of torque and power and everything, but they also produce more problems than what you really actually want. Maybe there's a degree of a level of problems that you're perfectly happy to accept, and once you start bunging a turbo on something, oh, those problems go tenfold, don't they? Especially if you don't look after it. And most people don't. Just occasionally you'll see a turbo powered petrol car left ticking over after it's had a bit of a thrash, because the owner understands and respects the turbo, that it will last longer if you don't just flick it off when you've been giving it the beans at the A59, or whatever kind of food you like to give it that's high in carbohydrates. That is not a good idea to just flick it straight off, but most people do, because most cars are actually turbocharged these days, aren't they? Yep. Small petrol engines rely on turbos. Diesels always have turbos, but what happens? They just get flicked straight off. I wonder, does anybody know about this? The technology involved in the stop-start thing? Is there something in place to stop those turbos from being worn out super duper quickly by them constantly switching themselves off? Answers please, if you know. I would like to know that one. Hey guys, just popping into bed. It's a nice Friday night treat. Popping into bed, Dino Dad, whilst watching me. Oh, what? Sounds very exciting. Welcome. Welcome. I'm loving the new estate, says Barry Scrotter. I am too, actually. It does suit me, and other people have said this as well, but I like the comfort that it has. I do. Now, what's been pointed out with Toby Charles as well is the suspension did look quite high on it, and it did, I thought that as well, but it didn't drive like that. It drove quite eagerly. It was quite stiff on the corners. Jimmy Quinn. Oh gosh, Boaty's World is here. Oh, what a treat. I woke up with a little stiffy this morning and I was holding on to it. Nothing in a not in a naughty way, just holding it for comfort like a baby with a comfort blanket. Boaty's World, the man who is definitely a bit stranger than most of us can really tolerate. Welcome, my strange and tall friend. Alright, yeah, I got distracted thinking about his little stiffy. I expect you'll have little squirts with that cheesy tea. Or squits. Little did it look cheesy to you? I'll look inside. Let's see. I'm not going to drink milk or tea without milk. It just doesn't work for me. Boaty, did you get that? He was stroking the. Did you, Boaty? Did you think you were stroking a giraffe's leg? Boaty, when you go for a pee, do you pee over 3 fingers? Fit a turbo timer. We always did back in the day, says Boaty. Gosh, sometimes Boaty says something that suggests that he knows what he's talking about, and that would be it. Well done, mate. Who has one of those these days? I don't think anybody does, except for, as I said, usually some messed about with Japanese cars that you see just left ticking away to themselves at the supermarket. Boaty being rude again. He's not being rude. Ivor Howard, whereabouts are you in England, Mustard? Asks Ivor Howard. I am in this part of England, in this yard. But to be more specific, I am in Rochdale, which is situated just a little bit east of Manchester. It's a wonderful, picturesque place nearby. The rest of Rochdale isn't so great. That milk is beyond. Chuck it. No, I won't chuck it, Barry. Live chat, I forgot about that. And no doubt there won't really be anything that I've missed anyway. Oh, no, I missed that one. John Studley says, hey Mustard, I've just uploaded my video on my channel. I did mention you and Boaty and Cars with JC, mate. Ah, right, I'll have a look at that later on. Oh, well, you did a, what do you call it? Oh yeah, mention. They never really work normally. Barry Scrotter. Barry Scrotter's laughing at something. I don't know what it could possibly be. What could it possibly be? 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 Today I was going to have another lovely tidy up day in here because yet again I found myself not being able to find the things I need for the jobs I need to do. And I bet everybody does this as well. You're looking for something, you can't find it. You carry on looking. Eventually you give up and you do something else. The next day, a week later, maybe more than a week, you're looking for something and you find that very thing that you're looking for instead. Oh, right, no, there's a point. That's there, right? I don't really know where to put this burger sauce because it just doesn't really seem to belong anywhere. Now what I have found is some Nightfire Red paint. Whether it's actually the same Nightfire Red as this one, I don't know, because there were a few. But that wasn't actually what I was looking for. It's just something that I would need at some point. What I am looking for is some underseal. I've sprayed on some zinc paint, zinc galvanizing paint, and then the next would be some of that. If it doesn't stick for that long, it doesn't matter, I'll just do it again properly. But the trick to this, I think, is monitoring, keeping your eye on things. If it goes wrong again, you just do it again. If you can't get it right, you just keep on doing it, and eventually you'll get it right. Just like my toenails need cutting. So, where is it? You lot talk amongst yourselves for a minute whilst I go and find this thing. Oh, is that a new one? Ah. It is, there's a new one there. I'm just going to read that then. Mr. Leafy Hello 1234. Please can I have a shout out? My name's Oleg. Oleg. I love your content, by the way. Well, as I'm here, I might as well read out the rest of my life. Thank you very much, Oleg. Mustard, I finally shelled out for a brand new silent alternator. Fitted it yesterday. I'm psyching myself up to replace the downpipe and cat. It may well end up being at the garage, but I'm having a go. Good for you. Good for you. What's you cooking tonight? Asks Jimmy Quinn. What am I cooking tonight? Well, I'm still undecided. Last night I did some cooking, but I just didn't do a live stream because it just got too late before I could be freed up to do it. It was like after 9 o'clock. There's not a lot of point starting now. And also it's nice to have some sort of warning, isn't it? So you know. But I don't know, but I did do some cooking. I did a rather different kind of curry using beef mince, which is kind of, it's not allowed. You're not allowed to use beef mince, but I did. And it's all because I fancied something like a keema, but I can't bring myself to eat lamb. When you see them hopping, lambs don't actually hop, but they do sort of bounce, but they kind of do this everywhere, frolicking around the fields, all having a great time with each other. I look at them and they're bleating away, and I think I don't really want to eat one of those. So, but cows, different matter. Yeah, they don't really seem to have much going for them, cows, do they? I like pointing at them and shouting that there are cows there, but I don't want to go up and put my arms around it and give it a hug. Now, hang on, ready for something? Yes, there we go. So in other words, I don't really know about tonight. What the hell is trapped in the roof? The dog of deception. Oh, that one. Yeah. It's not the dog of deception. It is Tracker, I think it's called, from Paw Patrol. It's full of stuff here because of not chucking things away. Look, if you can see up there, you can see the lady's purse is still there. And there's a bit of transit. Why do I need that? I don't. But I may as well decorate the roof with things, or I may as well just leave stuff that's there. Do you want Boaty's Frey Bentos pie? Asks Barry Scrotter. No, don't. Why does he not want it now? If your toenail need cutting, wear bigger shoes. That's good advice, actually. I haven't got any bigger shoes. I went from a size 10 to 11, and that's enough. I think at that point, maybe you should cut your toenails. But actually, that's not the reason why. I went from 10 to 11 because my feet seemed to get a bit bigger. No idea why that happened at all. Jimmy F500. Hello, Jimmy F500. I should be working on my Honda mower, putting back the carb and cleaning and trying to repair the broken exhaust bolt, but something is distracting me. What could that be? Mustard, have you ever used a nut splitter to any great effect? Yes. I used to think that that was just the answer. You use a nut splitter on exhaust bolts and things, because they get so corroded and they're just not going to come off. And I've even got a nut splitter set, but it's crap. I mean, there's a bit broken on it. I mean, I used one once about 20 years ago, and after that, every time I've used it, I just thought it's not really doing the job. It's actually easier just to hammer on a socket that's too small and do it that way, and chances are it'll just snap. It'll snap the bolt. Then that's the problem over with anyway, because you're going to replace it when it comes to exhaust bolts, because they're just steel, aren't they? Painted in galvanized zinc paint. So great for a while, but of course you've got a thread on there, and as soon as you do the thread up, you're taking the paint off. Why can't we have stainless steel nuts and bolts for things like this? Hey, it would make it so much easier. A bit more expensive, of course, but nobody cares about the future, do they? That's the thing. FFX XXXX. You, it's Gramps. How you been doing? Can you say water bottle? Well, that's exciting. Yes, I can, and I did. Well done for such an imaginative question. More to come, I'm sure. Red Ron. What is blue and smells like red paint? Blue paint. That's good actually, yeah, because paint doesn't tend to have flavouring, does it? Mustang. That's because it's not designed for eating, consuming. How is Fred the Shed doing? Fred the Shed is doing my head in. It's what Fred the Shed is doing. And it's not Fred's fault this time. The video coming out tonight, it is actually it's on for channel members, but only the top tier channel members. I thought I've got to give the people who are paying the full whack something today. So that video is out and has been I think it's got about 3 views on it. So that'll be coming out tonight, and you'll see what I've done, and it's not great, but you've got to try. I'm not a bodywork specialist. I've had some mixed results with getting paint looking nicer and bits of spray work here and there, but when it comes to actually remaking patches or filling bits in and getting it smooth, it's just there's some magic involved. There must be, to getting it right. Because I thought it was just patience, but apparently not. Darcy says, hi, hello Darcy. I should be fitting the chain to my motorcycle or editing. Instead, I'm going and getting my eyebrows waxed. Sounds like you could have got multitasking there. Matt Furious, always has success in heating element thingy. My Bob. Matt Furious driving. Matt Richardson always has success with that heating element thingy. What heating element thingy? I don't know which thingy you mean. Nut splitter crosses legs, says Jimmy F500. Barry says, if it was just a clamp, I would get the grinder out. Stuff at the back of the engine is a nightmare. I'm going to try heat first. Yeah, that is probably the best way if you can. If you got a blowtorch, melt the buggers out. Oh, right, okay. I reckon the whole manifold might end up coming off. Jimmy F500. Or what was it Jimmy F500 said? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Shwetter Rathor. Which country are you? I'm not a country, but I'm in England. And the same question again, and I'll answer it the same way, except I won't bother because I reckon you've probably understood the first one. Simone, I need my ears waxing. I need mine unwaxing personally. I don't know why you'd want wax in your ears, Barry. It just makes you deaf, and that's not good. When you're trying to have conversations with people and you're constantly going, what, what, what? It's embarrassing. Why would you want your ears waxing? What a silly idea, Barry. What was I doing? I was supposed to be looking for some paint, wasn't I? I was supposed to be doing a live stream where it's a bit more passive and you can just stay and watch just in case anything exciting happens. But instead I've spent the past 25 minutes being distracted by talking to you. So what I'm going to do is I'll do a bit of something, then I'll come back and I'll read some comments and see if anybody's turned up. Yeah? Would that make sense to you? I won't be going that long, but I do. Mustard, I mean waxing the hair. I know what you mean, Barry. I just can't help myself. I have to say things like that. It's just in my nature, isn't it? You should know that about me. Jimmy F500, what is the plan for you working today, Mustard? Well, it's working on this, on Mrs. Doyle. Mrs. Doyle. I wanted to do a couple of improvements on this car. And I thought I'd start with something that wants looking at sooner rather than later, so that I don't end up with a rusty hole. Sounds like the kind of thing Bolty would say. Gosh, I love cups of tea. I could happily spend all day drinking cups of tea. Right. So, this door's becoming to get in the way a little bit. Come on, door. Come on, over the door. That was better, it was fitting to the car. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Under body protector stuff. Can I get the right kind of? That's the one. That's the right kind of nozzle. Don't need to spray a whole load of it, it's just a bit, and then that will sort of actually do. I don't really need to put the red paint on, it just tidies it up a bit more. What I would like in this place would be a bit more headroom for a start, but one of those drive-on hydraulic things, because I've got the back of the car jacked up on the towing hitch. It's as high as it'll go. So unless I put it on ramps or something, I've got to get myself properly on the floor to do this. It'd be nice if, because around the sills rather, I suppose one of the reasons why things do get neglected is because it's just a bit out of the way, isn't it? Right down there on the floor where you can't actually see it until you get on the floor. And who gets on the floor next to their car? Not that many people. That's annoying. It's not coming out, but there's loads in there as well. So it could be something's clogged up in there. Oh. No. Yep. It's not that. So it must be this. So I need to find another one. Oh, well, well, there we go. The multi-purpose paint, that's what this came off. So that didn't work properly either, and that's good. Copper paint, that's got the same nozzle on the end. That one works. Right, great. Hello? Still doesn't work. Still doesn't jeffing work. Why doesn't it work? Right, well, okay, next solution would be the brushable stuff. Brushable under seal. I just need to find a brush. I suppose actually using the brushable stuff might be a bit better, because whilst trying to get underneath the car, it's still, you know, I'm working on a gap about that big, so you can't really spray that accurately anyway. So I might be able to paint a bit more accurately. God, this is properly thick. You've got to smell it. Smell that, yeah. It's like, it looks like shoe polish. It looks like really good stuff. Good. Put it back where it belongs. I do have some things that I do have a home for, and I always remember that where they are, and that particular thing is one of them. Now, I'm glad I wore these gloves, because look how much Look how much I've got on them just by doing that. You don't think you get any on there, but for some reason I have an immense talent for getting stuff in places that don't belong. Who'd like to guess what I'm going to do next? Oh, every time I've got some sort of paint on the go, I always have the urge to just paint a bit of something so that we have some more just slightly random bits of colours everywhere. So, what we go here? Did it stick? Probably a bit too muddy for that. Cup of tea, I reckon. How about that? Oh shit! I've got paint in my cup. Might smell quite nice, but I reckon you're not supposed to consume the stuff. Fred the Shed. See, some people are staying with me anyway, aren't you? It's all rather exciting, isn't it, really? Watching me from a distance where you can't quite tell what I'm doing anyway. Now, was that the one? No, that's a broken one. Oh, the Nightfire Red. Will the Nightfire Red even work? Yeah, it does. Not only does it work, but it looks like the correct Nightfire Red. Although I should actually just check. CAQ. Has anybody liked this live stream yet? Has anybody not liked it that should do? I mean, I don't really think it's that likeable myself, but that's not why I'm asking you to like it. How long is Mrs. Doyle's MOT? Asked Dino Dad. It's almost a year. Just because there's that bit there, it's been welded, but it's not, it's solid, it's just the stuff's peeled off. It's the kind of thing you see quite often actually. But, what you might call as well, I suppose, MOT welding, where a patch has been welded in and then just sprayed over, rather than actually doing too much to actually protect it afterwards. So then you've got to keep on top of it yourself. I don't know if I've ever told you about it. Once, a few years back, before the channel started, I was looking for a recovery truck, after the previous one had broken down quite catastrophically, and I thought it'd probably be best looking for something like an old Transit. And I went to Witness, I think it was, to go and have a look at one, an old smiley face Transit. It's really old. It was like sort of 30 years old almost at the time, and they are known for corrosion. But this one had all the way up the cab patches like this, patch after patch after patch, where it's just, you know, one bit of corrosion started, a patch has been put in, that's triggered another bit of corrosion, and so the patches of metal were almost to the top of the cab. It was astonishing, and I didn't buy it because of how bad it was, obviously. I'm not that stupid. Oh no, I bought something else that was a bit less troublesome, presumably. Oh, Mrs. Doyle, right. Yeah. John Studley, change your chat to all comments mustard. I have done. I have. It's still there. All there. All there. Did you put your massive tool in Mrs. Doyle's box? No, not yet. Not yet. I'm still trying to find a tool suitably large. I'll tell you what. I mean, you'll see this later on, but I put my massive tool in Fred the Shed. Look at this for a hammer. That does the job. Oh, I had to use this to get to Nigel once. I mean, you pretty much smash anything with a swing of that. That's got enough weight behind it to knock that horrible dent out of Fred. Forgot his name then. By the way, Jimmy Cranky wants his blue t-shirt back. Did he have one this colour? At least you're working on a nice day with no flipping rain. It's absolutely fantastic here in there. Where's there? What just looks like two green things. What does that mean? Is it Ireland? Nozzle! Dino Dad, what makes you say that? What? Oh yeah, I don't know what it meant either. It's a wee bit tight. Oh, is it? Is it? Right, the belly's coming back a little bit, and that's because of drinking too much tea. Oh, I know. It just bloats me out, you see. It's got nothing to do with anything else, just a bit too much tea. I will do something about it at some point. Well, I started doing something about it about 3 weeks back, and I've not been successful so far. Lumpy milk? Yes. Oh, shit. Oh, cock. Lumpy milk with grit now as well. You know my hygiene's good because I wipe the milk bottle top when it falls on the floor. Be right. I don't know what I'm going to do next because I've got enough lumpy milk there for another cup of tea, and what am I going to do then? I can't just stop, can I? Huh? I'll have a cup of tea. I have a cup of tea, I assume. Have a cup of tea, I assume. I can't like on portrait mode. You can. You can. Of course you can. Everybody else has been managing to do it. Ta-ta for now. I have to go. Bye-bye. Says Hooks on Classics. Good. Thank you very much for joining us, Simone. Have a lovely afternoon. Proper job hammer. Yes, it is. Hit the 3 dots at the top, Jimmy. Yes, do that, Jimmy. Thank you. Yes, mustard, Southern Ireland, or Ire, as some might say. I thought it might be it. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. R7BK, you say lumpy milk. I did say lumpy milk, yeah. Bye, Simone. Thank you. Grits, the least of your worries with that milk. No, it's alright. I've got to tell you now Simone's gone. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just frozen a bit. My fridge doesn't seem to be able to regulate its temperature very well. The kid asks, I presume it's an ask, are you gay? Yes, properly gay. Look at this. Yes, everything is about being gay, isn't it? Yep, make the most of things. Don't worry about stuff that hasn't happened yet. Just enjoy the moment. It's what you should be doing. We should all be a bit more gay, shouldn't we? Now, painted on that stuff there. That does need to leave to be dried quite a bit. I wonder how long it takes to dry that. Because the other thing is OMG, show your dick. Right. Okay, I will do. First of all, I need these. And because, quite simply, there's Dick. Dick is a cable tie that I've adopted, and the cable tie often is rather an annoying little friend when the ends aren't cut off. So, and the end can be cut off by this. If you don't follow that, I don't blame you. I kind of just made it up as I went along, but then I do with everything else. Most of the time it works out okay. Oh, so there's a good point actually. Temu. Who likes Temu? Does anybody like Temu? Does anybody think you get some bargains on Temu? Or do you think that actually maybe it's all just one jolly big rip-off? Well, here's something for you. Recently, although I need some cable ties, so I had a look on Temu, looked at the ones that are about the right length, and anyway, bought them. £1.99. This is what I got. There's quite a lot in there, but they are so skinny. They're just about capable of keeping my hair in place, but not like the old ones that keep it in place all day. So they're kind of a bit useless. £1.99. Wait 3 weeks to get them. Or go on Amazon, £1.99. Next day delivery. Why do people actually bother with Temu at all? It's just not any good. Is it? Rough. I thought it was off milk. Yes, it did. It looks very much off, doesn't it? It does. It looks off. I thought you said monkey milk for some reason, and now I understand. Oh, John Studley, the kids, please don't put that on here, mate. The kids, please. Oh, right. Well, it's what I'm not going to put on here that's important. The Welsh porker. Us gays have spare dicks in the garage. Andrew Lawrence Smith, you need a cane row hairstyle. What's one of those? What's a cane row hairstyle? I'll have to look into that. And if I need one, then I suppose I best look into it fairly quickly, hadn't I? My kids. Oh, right, Kelly. Please shout out. Could you just? Right. Okay, Kelly. Here's your shout out. Now, I'm going to hide you. I'm afraid. Yay. But I can't have that constant same thing over and over again. It just doesn't work, does it? I was right at the end anyway. So I said hello, Kelly. You don't need to just keep on saying it. Sorry about that, but it doesn't work. Barry Scrotter. My kids love a Temu haul. That spray bottle like yours got was okay for the money. Yeah, that was. And that's the thing. You get the occasional thing that is quite good, and then the rest of it isn't. And then you feel cheated. Can't remember how much that spray bottle was, but I do use it quite a lot for snow foam. Although it doesn't actually make it snowy foam. It did at first. It went into a lovely foamy kind of get out of my way. Lovely foamy, snowy, foamy thing. It really worked, and then it just seemed to not work so much. So it's almost like it stopped being able to hold the pressure in the bottle as much as it was doing. Can't see that being the case though. Could it be though? I do like Amazon for their quick delivery, says Barry Squatter, and that's the thing, that's what we're all sold on, isn't it? I mean, it's another thing, it's convenient. That's what we've come to expect, is you want something, I don't want it next week or 3 weeks, I want it now. I want it now. It does work for not having loads of stuff just in case. So you want it tomorrow because you want it now, you can get it tomorrow. Great. Oh, Andrew, keeps your hair out your face, and lol, it's what us bilk people mostly wear. Bilk. Well, so my hair is definitely in my face. That's because I used a cable tie that is inferior. Sam, bonjour. The Welsh porker. Temu is cheap, but they send deliveries by homing pigeons because it takes months for delivery. I know. By which point, that was one thing I did quite like about it, I suppose, maybe. So and you say it is a haul because, quite simply, if you buy a few things, it works out cheaper than buying one thing. You have to buy quite a few things for your free delivery. And we all like a free delivery, don't we? But by the time it gets here, you've forgotten what you've asked for. And you couldn't possibly be buying stuff off Temu because you desperately need it. Because you'll have given up trying by the time it gets there. Anyway, no more for me. Are you going to fill in Mrs. Doyle's hole in the rear or weld it? Can't fill it because it is actually a hole. Well, I'm going to get my friend Allegro Man to deal with it, because I saw him yesterday. He came round, and then I went over to his and we did some stuff on the MGF, which was very, very needed indeed. These floating things annoy me, and he's got a solution for that hole. And so it won't take that long. It'll take a couple of hours at the most. And that looks like the worst bit as well. Our place does a lot of work for Amazon, says Barry. There are kind of contradiction here as Amazon. Contradiction. Where's that? I guess the boots for the R8 estates are like a rocking horse. Yes, yeah, just like the rest of the car. But that's always the problem, isn't it? You want something that not everybody else has got. You're a rare car because it's interesting. Although, you know, the majority of people wouldn't even take a second look at that. It's only people that like sort of older stuff. Some older cars people notice. That one's not old enough for most people to notice. And the rarity of it makes that a bit unfair. Because, yeah, you couldn't really get hold of a boot very easily at all for that. And that would actually be the simplest solution. Because really, the best way to fix that hole will be to have the glass out. And that's always going to be a risk of breaking it. And then, where do you get a piece of glass from for one of those? Okay? Where would you get one? Temu? Well, Amazon does sell practically everything. Has anybody looked on Amazon for rare car parts that have been remade? My dad still has a Ford Cortina, and to be fair, it's a nipper, says the Welsh porker. A nipper? A little nipper, is it? Ah, very good. I mean, it's quick, or it's something else. Name me -1. Glass is back on. My screen guy could get that out in one piece. It's usually less than £50. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I had somebody wanting to buy the windscreen out of Auntie Sophie, and I thought, great, that's great, because when that car goes, I'm not going to be able to take the glass out of it anyway. And this chap came along and said, oh, I can get it out. I said, well, 40 quid, which I know is cheap, but that's why. And he said, if I break it, I'll still give you the money. Anyway, he did break it, and I just felt bad taking the money off of him, which I know is really bad business. So he gave me £40, I just give him 20 back, because it wouldn't have made any difference for when the car goes anyway. But then I was told, well, the windscreens, you're probably looking at, really, it's worth about 100 quid. So I've underpriced myself again. The Blue Baron, is that a Rover? It is a Rover. Everything you see in this yard is going to be a Rover, besides the Sprinter and the Transit that's in the yard. Oh, and there's another 2 Transits. So not everything that you see in the yard will be. And the Skip, that's not a Rover. Well, one of them is. There are quite a few here. I know 100% I could get that window out in one piece. Used to do a lot of body ship. Oh, right. Interesting. Taking the glass out of Auntie Sophie is the worst job I could imagine. Yeah, I wouldn't have tried. Hang on. Wait a minute. Taking the glass out of Auntie Sophie is the worst job I could imagine. And I wouldn't have tried. Which one is it, Barry Scrotter? Is the glass on this easy, but difficult on the windscreen? Is that what you're saying? Without a good kit, it's a hard job. Yeah. What did this guy have? Not much really. He had some wire and a knife. What's your favourite rover, asks the Welsh porker. Mine is the answer. Do you know any of my cars? Maybe you don't. You asked if that was a rover. If you look on my other channel, you'll see lots of rovers there. One tea, everyone. One tea, everyone. Yeah. Can't believe I nearly drank the second cup of tea already. This is disgraceful. Terrible. It's terribly embarrassing it is, I tell you. Oh, Dino Dad, if it breaks, just make sure you don't have the green streepers near the mirror. Yeah. Forgot about that. Windscreen out of Auntie Sophie. I meant I did all the Rover 18s. I meant I did a lot of Rover 800 screens in the day, and they're particularly difficult. Then I take it. I only know the Rover SD1 as my uncle has one, says the Welsh porker. Well, Welsh porker, I have that one, which is a 400. There's a couple of 25s. There's a 45 over there. There is an SD1 around the back. There's a 75. There's an MG ZS and a Land Rover Freelander. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's an MGF, but that's not home. Project Nigel, for those who need to look. Thank you, name me -1, for saying what I could have said. But you know, I like to get people involved in doing the shouty out kind of things. You might as well, you know. What happened, right, to right, okay, never mind. Yes, the windscreen on the 800 in one piece would be hard. The R8 rear screen, not too bad. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what the difference is. Besides weight, obviously a windscreen's rather heavy. These are quite flat as well. They'll look almost like you could just get a piece of flat perspex, just round the edges off and stick it into place. That would be an emergency, wouldn't it, job? Oh, that'd look awful, wouldn't it? That kind of faded, sort of dull, not particularly easy to see through perspex on the boot. What happened to the cars with JC and Boaty? Oh, there's a very interesting question. But I don't know whether it would be welcome for me to go into it particularly, because it is two other people rather than me. It didn't involve me at all. Although it could have involved me ever so slightly, but it actually didn't, and I'm not really bothered. I am bothered, but I don't really want to take it on my responsibility to explain it. People have fallouts. That's really all that happens. People have fallouts, and you know, we all know that. You've got to accept it. I once bought some long wood from B&Q and loaded in my 205, closed the boot and proceeded to pop the windscreen. That means that you didn't look to see the wind. Oh right, I see, the windscreen. I've seen that quite a lot before, because windscreens in particular are very easy to break. Other glass, not too much. No, the toughened glass on the sides, they don't break at all easily. You can take the glass out, you can fling it around, they don't break. You can drop things on. I've tried this as an experiment with a piece of glass, drop it on the floor like this, it doesn't break. Drop a brick on it, it doesn't break. It does after a while. Windscreen breaks really easily because it's just laminated glass. So you push a bit of wood through there, it just touches the windscreen. If there's any kind of weight behind it, it's the weight that does it, it just cracks it straight away. Awfully. And that's the one that's really difficult to get in and out as well. Yeah. Rear screen I think is toughened. Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. That is exactly the case. Yeah. So as it's toughened glass, it wouldn't actually be difficult to get out in one piece anyway, would it? Thank you, Barry. I don't know, there was something between boat and JC. Well, there is, and I don't think it's going to get fixed, to be honest. Fair enough. DD, easy done. Windscreen's crack from the inside, not the outside in. Windscreen's crack from the inside, from inside out, not the outside in. Ah, okay. Well, they crack either way, don't they, surely? If you drop something on the outside, they can still crack. What another fabulous cup of tea that was. And you know why? Because it's a lovely, warm, sunny day, and I will drink lots of cup of teas, whatever the case. When it's lovely and warm, even more cups of tea do I need to consume to keep my face warbling away and the words dribbling out without any real issue. Oh yes. And you know, if I wasn't so embarrassed, I'd just be making another cup of tea right away. But I'm thinking, what do I need to do now? I'm going to just touch that paint there, see whether it's kind of tacky dry, if it's still, because actually I just want to put this on it. I want to put that paint on it, but I don't know whether it's a good idea or not. So if anybody knows anything about the underseal, how long you should leave it for, please tell me now, while I just going to have a little touch of it. Touch up the underside of Mrs. Doyle. Touch it up the underside of Mrs. Doyle. Yeah, I'm going to say that's still rather wet actually. Does Mrs. Doyle have a tow bar? Oh gosh, that's gone slow. That's gone fast now. No, there's no tow bar on Mrs. Doyle. What would I use it for? Well, I suppose a car like that would be okay for towing around light things, but one of my long-term plans, which I seem to have along, is Fred the Shed. Fred the Shed, poor Fred the Shed, has a tow bar and it's a diesel auto. That means it can cope with pulling a trailer, and a small car, I reckon. Although I've yet to find out what the towing weight of that car actually is, and it might be just not really quite enough to actually tow a proper car with. But I've seen them used quite a lot for towing other cars. If you could tow anything up to say a 45, that would probably do. And as usual, what happens is whilst I'm doing a live stream, I end up with a question, and I think I could easily find that out by going onto Google, but I can't go onto Google whilst I'm doing a live stream because I've only got one device. So if I come across as one of those people that just makes you think, well, Google's your friend, just find out. Well, this is why. Because I hadn't thought to ask. I hadn't thought to ask this question until right now, and now I'm thinking of asking it. Name me -1, they can crack either side. These comments have slowed down quite a bit, and that would suggest that you want me to go away and never come back. So I'm not going to do that. But no, I can't paint it because it's still too wet. But the only thing is, once I get driving out somewhere, once I drive home afterwards, that means that it's still vulnerable for these floaty things everywhere. I get things stuck to it. That spray stuff I had, that was quite good because you'd spray it on and it'd be dry like really rather quickly. The only thing I could do would be to get the heat gun out and put a bit of heat into it, I suppose. Perhaps I should do that. Yep. Let's bring it down to the floor, I think. Where's my heat gun gone? That's that. Touch up the underside of Mrs. Doyle. Touch up the underside of Mrs. Doyle. Blow a bit of heat up Mrs. Doyle. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, it's melting it. No, that's strange. I wonder why it's not drying. That should be much drier than it currently is. That makes me want to have a look at the tin, see if there's any special instructions. Well, I've used it before, it's like that. Yeah. Allow it to dry overnight. Oh. That's annoying. So I definitely did want the other stuff then, really, because if they're supposed to allow it to dry overnight, that means ideally you don't really want to be driving it either, because you'll get stone chips, you'll get things flying up at it. That's so cocked up again. Every day a different cock up. Every day a different cock up, my lovely. Every day a different cock up, my love. Now, let's see if anybody else has been doing a bit of chat my direction. And they have, that's good. General Cheeseburger is here. Not seen General Cheeseburger for a while. Welcome, General Cheeseburger. Afternoon Mustard, how's it hanging? Well, I'll show you if you like, but you might regret asking. Stephen Manning, What about turning shed into shed? Shed the shed into a breakdown truck. More complications. Well, my idea was I thought it'd be a fun idea that could be turned into a pickup truck, but of course that would take an awful lot of preparation and work. That the fear is that it would never really get finished off. I get as far as getting half of the roof off and thinking, can't keep running out of bloody things, I need a plasma cutter, and then not getting around to that as well. So I don't know, to do a job like that, so it's nice. If I could get the hang of doing like just a simple body repair job and be happy with it, and feel that you know other people would be happy with it, then I could think about that a bit further. But at the moment, every time I do any kind of job like that, I just think that looks cack. It doesn't really look any better than it did do before. It's just a bit more of the same colour, and hence the point of, is there some sort of witchcraft going on when it comes to car bodywork? Because I thought it was just patience, but no, you need more than patience. You actually need skill, and I wasn't prepared for that. I was thinking all you need to do is just be one of these people that can just sit back, take your time, go over it methodically, make sure everything's right. But no, there's something else, and I haven't quite been able to figure that out. My goodness, cheeseburger, hello, says Dino Dad. Google told me the towing weight is 1,600 kilos. That's not very much, is it really? Not very much at all. Now, what would be, well, thanks for having a quick look as well, Barry. What would be the weight of a trailer big enough to carry something like a Rover 45? A Rover 45 being probably about 1,200 kilos. That means there's only 400 kilos left. I can't see being able to get a trailer big enough to do the job for 400 kilos. Oh dear. So I wonder why they get used so often then. Right, anyway, there we go. Yeah. Very good, thanks. Still torturing myself. Warm enough, Barry? Is it nice out there? It's warm here. I'm loving it. Been in the garden every afternoon. Still nice and cool at work during the night. Best of both worlds now. Mustard, have you ever thought of digging a series of secret tunnels under the yard? No, I haven't actually. I'm putting ideas into my head. If it was as easy as that, I mean, you need an awful lot of heavy machinery, don't you, really, to properly dig. Otherwise, what you do is you get your spade and you dig for about half an hour, and then your back's gone and you've had enough and you're all sweaty and you've dug a hole big enough to well, lose a football in, and that's it. Afternoon, Mustard and friends, says Stephen S. Paul. Good afternoon to you. Barry, Cheesy is looking forward to the playoffs Sunday. Playoffs. And Eric Clapton. Playoffs and Eric Clapton. You can get filler for the... Oh, hang on. You can get filler for the base and different filler for the top finishing. But I think, what's the problem? What's the problem with filler? Shaping it. Well, two things, yeah. Shaping it, because that's one thing. The other problems being like little bits that pop out. As much as I mix it up, and you smooth it off, you start sanding it down, little bits pop out. But yeah, shaping it, yeah. I suppose if you've got a tiny dent, like about that big, not too much of a problem. But when you're trying to cover an area about that big, where it's been all buckled, where there's curvy bits going on, it all looks like it's right, and then you spray it and then it doesn't look right, because you suddenly get a bit of shine and it shows off the actual problem that you have there, that you've not filled in quite right, or there's a bit of a lump. Oh, actually, I usually rubbing my fingers along the paint quite a lot to feel for any bumps, I got to the stage with Fred where there were no bumps there. I couldn't feel anything. I thought, that's good, that's right. Sprayed it. No, it's not right. It doesn't look right at all. 2 days, I thought, that's enough. That's enough of that. Do you like my idea of Mad Maxing it, but with an MOT? Would look cool. It does. It would do, yeah. Well, the kind of keeping Fred a shed would probably just be the best idea. So it doesn't really matter. We know what I was going to do actually for that rear quarter. I was just going to use some different colour paint, and just have like a big patch at the back that was a different colour. But then I went and found the right colour, didn't I? And I was almost disappointed because that meant that, you know, it'd be contrived to spray it in green when I've got the correct blue. Can't you tow with a dolly? I think they're called. Yep, you can. I think there are quite a few limitations there. I don't think you're allowed to take them on the motorway for a start. Oh yeah, towing dolly on a tow bar. Yeah, that'd be the one, wouldn't it? And there's not a great deal of weight to that. I don't know what the limitations are. I'm sure you're not allowed to do them on the motorway. Barry, I haven't seen a dolly in years. Just lifts the front wheels up and the back wheels are free. Unless the back wheels don't move. That's the problem. Shovel it in the old slide bucket and a big skip out. Shovel it in the old slide bucket and the big skip outside. You've lost me there. This happens quite a lot. People say things and I don't know what you're talking about. I feel awful now. Cheesy, that's the one, yeah. Didn't Neil say he was going to turn Fred the shed into a catering vehicle? Yes, he did. That he does quite like that idea for Fred, and I quite like it as well. But how easy would it be? There's a lot of stuff to think about. I'm sure that we'll think about it and talk about it when he comes up here in a couple of weeks' time. Catering vehicle or mobile toilet? Mobile toilet would be easy, wouldn't it, Cheesy? Did you use a guide coat on the filler? A guide coat? Right, I'm not sure what you mean. I mixed the stuff up. I used the spready thing, and I got it so it felt like it was almost like there wasn't loads to sand off. That's what I did. Use Simon Sentinel as a hood ornament. I need to put him back together again actually because his body fell off. Yeah, I was going to bring the two bits of Simon Sentinel back up here, weld him back together again a bit more thoroughly, and then you know, do the do with him, whatever the do is. Oh yeah, find a new head, because the pan was a good idea because I didn't even have to weld that on. I just had to screw it in the hole there. But of course, when you have people knocking around that like to vandalize things, his head got rather ruined. Poor old Simon Sentinel. Anyway, some news around the yard. I should tell you. I'll tell you some news if you like in 1 second. But oh come on, I need another cup of tea. It's just no good. It's no good. Cheesy cool out and about, fair play. Right. When filler is set mist black paint, they determine the high level and low spots. Right. Right. Now I know that in body shops they have some stuff they spray on it, don't they? They have some stuff they spray on it rather than just paint, and that identifies any other bits that need doing. I suppose really it's one of these things that I would have liked to just learn to do and been able to do by myself, but I can't. I need to get some more advice from people like yourself. Windy Miller, oh lovely Windy Miller. Windy Miller's like coming home to your dog, and your dog is there at the door, wagging its tail, and I was so happy about that. Whenever I see the Windy Miller, it always just makes me smile. Welcome, Windy Miller. Now this time I'm going to have myself a cup of Earl Grey tea with what looks like lumpy cheesy milk, and that'll be the last of it. So as that's probably going to be the last of the lumpy milk, I probably have to go to the shop afterwards and go buy some more. I might as well drop that down. I'll drop that down in 1 second, but I'll tell you some news, some more yard news in fact. The other day somebody tried breaking into the middle lockup, and that has caused a bit of a problem with the guy that is paying for it, and he's been insistent. Oh, let's just check my just checking that the handle wasn't sticking out from the trolley jack, which is still underneath the back of Mrs. Doyle. What was I saying? Oh yeah, somebody's been trying to break into that lockup, and he's had a bit of a go, bit of a moan at the landlord, and landlord is getting some proper CCTV cameras put up around the yard, which will all be able to be monitored from mobile phones, which means, brilliant, eh? I'll have another way of making a video. You can bet if I get somebody wandering around the yard at night time, I'll get them on video and I'll put them on YouTube. Yes. That makes me almost want somebody to pop in during the night. The trouble is, you know, here it's accessible over the hedges, over that side. It's not very nice. I've had to come in here myself, going through the brambles. It's not nice at all. I'm going to close the gate. Yeah, so I've had to do that. It's not very pleasant, but sometimes. CCTV, that will stop your dogging. Oh, there's a point. As far as spending a night in the caravan's concerned, we'd want to do that before the cameras come up, wouldn't we? Otherwise, the landlord could see me and Boaty knocking about in the yard at night. I don't know how sophisticated it might be, but I'm quite looking forward to it. The only thing I don't like the idea of is, well, the landlord will have this on his app, and he could very easily, whilst I'm here during the daytime making videos, see me wondering what I'm doing. Because I never actually said to him, oh, by the way, I use your land for making YouTube videos on. We just never actually had that conversation. And he might say, well, I'd rather you not. Possibility, isn't it? Right, time for some more lumpy milk. And what I'm about to do now, just have a quick catch up on these comments and put a few bits away. Instead of CCTV, just get your man Shippy round at night. He does wander around videoing stuff, so he may as well get paid for it. Shippy. Your man Shippy. Who's your man Shippy? And look, Tracy is here. Afternoon, cheeky little afternoon hi all. Yes, it is a cheeky one. A rather cheeky, unnecessary one, but I have no idea. Yeah, I have an idea. It's just not gone to plan. I thought I could actually just set a live stream off and just carry on with what I'm doing. So it might just be of interest to a certain type of person that likes to watch somebody doing things, like they do on Twitch. The people I know on Twitch, I don't know about you, Greenwood, but no, others on Twitch, it's just like just peering into somebody else's life. When do you work the inflatable dinghy? Dingy dingy, dingy 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 dingy. Wah ba 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 ba. Wah ba do 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 do. Okay, right. I'm just gonna put this. Get that out. Put a couple of bits of things away. Come on. Where you? Bloody thing. What's happening there? Thought it was about to fall off there. Carry on talking amongst yourselves, because I won't be doing a great deal of talking for a little while. But oh no. Oh balls. It's exciting, isn't it? And this has been probably the best, most exciting moment of this live stream, is me backing the car into here, giving up on it for the night because I can't really drive it because of that underseal on there. Shame, eh? What were you doing before you decided this was preferable? You need to go on Twitch and ignore the comments. Well, yeah, ignore them. Do you get many views on Twitch though? I was out having fish and chips, Wendy Miller. 2 coffees, so my brain is pinging off the scale. Need alcohol. That works. Yes, cheesy. They need to come back to Boaty's world, even if it's under false names. Oh, yes, cheesy needs to come back to Boaty's world. Yeah, why not? Huge haddock. Yeah, come back, cheesy. Fish and chips is dead expensive, isn't it? We had Mrs. Miller's old man, and his squeeze. All right, it's squeeze. Gosh, and his squeeze over. They wanted fish and chips. £60. Can we have a live Fred the Shed song? Oh, I like the Allegro Man's probably my favourite of the tunes so far. I'm going to do some more songs though. I need to do some more songs for people, don't I? But if move this welder out of the way. Look what I have here. Of course, the keyboard, which is actually switched on, which would make a song up for. $10K for your car. Yeah, all right then. Why not? Parking's a bit crap. Wheels aren't straight. My name is. They don't need to be straight, do they? It's in a lockup. Oh, is that for all 10 of them? Greenwood, would you like a song? It's about time I had one. But oh, that's a good idea. Farting in your face. Let's start something like that then. Can't really make songs up without a bit of time by myself though. Sorry. I will start working on some for some people. Paloma, please shout out please. I love you, so talented. Oh, song for Joseph, that's a good idea. It's not exactly Benny and the Jets, is it? Benny and the Jets. Glory Boy. Are you sick in the head? Who's Glory Boy? Oh, 10k for your... Ah, right. Well, when somebody really does have 10k, they'd like to swap for my car, then we can talk. But the trouble is, people say things like that and don't really mean it, do they? Song for Joseph. I take that you mean Joseph Lloyd. Maybe right. Maybe having a nice song for our friend having a shit from Pakistan. Having a shit, having a shit. I like to be having a shit every day. Having a shit, having a shit, having a shit, having a shit. Just sounds like any other song, but it's rather generic, and that's the trouble really, that when you make music of any kind, it's always the easiest way is to just follow all the same patterns that other people follow. If you do something completely different, nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. Usually, yeah. I mean, I might get a few on here that would like that kind of thing, but God, is my head red? Gosh, I look like a. Gosh, that is what you call a bit of sunburn. Does anybody like the weird songs? That's the thing, that's what I want to know. Do you like the weird ones, or do you like the ones that are normal? Oh, what kind of song would you like? Just a nice normal one, please. I want to listen to some music that's quite normal. The kind of thing that you've heard loads and loads of times before and you don't really need to listen to again. But I want to. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm having a shit, and if you don't like it, you know where you can poo. Windy's on top form. Windy's always in top form. So why's my head gone so red? I like the songs that appear to be normal, but are actually bonkers. Like what? Which ones are we thinking of there? I'm going to have a little wander around the yard, by the way. Would you like that? Oh look, there's the Renault. There's a little Renault and they go. And there's a cat down there. It's unusual that you'll see a cat that doesn't run away. Curious, eh? Just realised there's loads and loads of ants all over the floor. Oh, you're going anyway.
Yeah. Having a job keeping cool. We're not there long today,
Me too. What's that? Is what? Oh, he went ages back. Oh. He went, about an hour and 40 minutes ago. Yeah. Right, okay, that's probably going to be the end of this today, because I should probably just get on and do something proper, and I don't tend to do that if people are watching me, even though I try. I have to kind of set it up. So thank you very much for watching and joining and commenting and presumably liking this live stream and becoming a subscriber to the channel. If you haven't done, please do it, because it's all rather important to me. And I'll see you in the next one, which won't be too long off. Oh, hang on, what's this here? Joseph's song would be called Diesel Dick. Joseph Lloyd Pack's song will be called Sir, and it will be a little melody followed by a choir of 100 voices shouting Sir. Repeat after a couple of minutes. Sit back and count the money. Funnily enough, I like Bernard Cribbin's Right, said Fred. Right, okay, that's it. That's 23 people like this, so that'll do for me. And I will see you later on, possibly tonight. Thank you very much.